In the early 1970s, a unique sports car emerged from France that challenged conventions and pushed the boundaries of automotive design. This is the story of the Matra Bagheera, a vehicle that combined innovation, style, and practicality in ways never before seen in the automotive world. Our tale begins in December 1969 when two French companies joined forces. Matra, an engineering group known for its aerospace and defense work, partnered with Simca, a well-established automaker. This alliance gave Matra access to Simca's extensive dealer network across France and the common market, while also rebranding Matra's racing cars as Matra Simcas. The first fruit of this collaboration was to be a replacement for Matra's existing sports car, the Matra 530. The 530 had failed to capture its intended market or meet sales expectations, so the new project, codenamed M550, was crucial for both companies. Work on the M550 began in 1970 under the guidance of Matra's head of engineering and design, Philippe Guédon, and Chrysler Simca product planner Jacques Rousseau. Additional direction came from Chrysler Simca planner Marc Honoré, who suggested focusing on cars with engine displacements between 1.3 and 1.5 liters, Simca's strongest market segment. From the outset, the M550 project was about pushing boundaries and challenging norms. While many components were sourced from the Chrysler Simca parts inventory, including the engine, gearbox, and suspension from the Simca 1100, the team decided to create a mid-engine car rather than following the front-wheel drive layout of the donor vehicle. But perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of the new design was its seating arrangement. Chrysler Simca's planners wanted more than just 2 seats, but Guédon wasn't satisfied with the traditional 2+2 layout used in the M530, feeling the rear seats were too small to be truly useful. The solution came to him during a long trip in a Ford Taunus station wagon with 2 colleagues. With the back of the car full of luggage, the 3 travelers sat side by side in the front. This experience inspired Guédon to design the M550 with 3 seats abreast, a configuration never before seen in a production sports car. The development process was rigorous. 11 prototypes were built and subjected to extensive road testing in environments ranging from the scorching deserts of Mauritania to the frigid landscapes of Lapland. These prototypes also underwent thorough crash testing to ensure safety standards were met. By the end of 1972, development was complete, and the car was ready for production at Matra's factory in Romorantin-Lanthenay, a commune in the Loire-et-Cher department of central France. But before it could hit the streets, it needed a name. Rather than sticking with its development code name, the car was christened Bagheera, after the Black Panther character in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. The Matra Bagheera made its debut to the press on April 14, 1973, at a glamorous event held at Lake Annecy. The public got their first glimpse of the car at the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans race later that year. Simca, eager to capitalize on the excitement, had arranged for 500 yellow Bagheeras to be available at their dealerships across France. The Bagheera's design was a collaborative effort. The initial shape was drawn by Jean Toprieux and later refined by Jacques Nochet. Greek designer Antoni Volani contributed to the interior, handling the instrument panel and steering wheel shapes. The result was a sleek hatchback with hidden headlights, a design that turned heads wherever it went. The body of the Bagheera consisted of 19 panels made of fiberglass reinforced polyester attached to a steel chassis. Matra used a cutting-edge manufacturing process called LP to produce these panels. This low-pressure, high-temperature pressing method allowed for the creation of large, high-quality panels with precision and economy, using relatively inexpensive tooling. One of the Bagheera's most striking features was its aerodynamic profile. Early models boasted a drag coefficient of just 0.33, a remarkable achievement for the time. This figure rose slightly to 0.35 after a midlife redesign, but still remained impressive. The car's unique 3-abreast seating arrangement was implemented as a 2+1 configuration. The driver had a regular seat, while on the passenger side was a single 2-place bench with 2 individual seatbacks, inspired by a lounge chair Guédon had discovered in a Paris shop. This unusual layout necessitated slightly convex body sides when viewed from above to accommodate the width of the seating. Under the sleek bodywork, the Bagheera's chassis was fabricated from pressed steel. While sometimes referred to as a space frame, it more closely resembled a unitary body. The shapes of some pieces were simplified to accommodate the low production numbers. The suspension setup was a mix of existing and new designs. The front suspension came directly from the Simca 1100, consisting of upper and lower A-arms with telescopic hydraulic dampers and longitudinal torsion bars running back along the chassis for springing. An anti-roll bar was also fitted at the front. Initially, the rear suspension of the M550 prototype mirrored the front setup, simply moved rearward along with the engine and transaxle. However, this proved unsatisfactory, leading the engineers to develop a new system for the production cars. The final design comprised new trailing arms designed by Matra, with transverse torsion bars and telescopic shock absorbers. Like the front, an anti-roll bar was also fitted at the rear. At launch, the Bagheera was offered with a single engine option, the 1,294cc Poissy engine from Simca's 1100 Ti model. In the Bagheera, this overhead valve straight 4 engine developed 84 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute, a slight increase over its output in the 1100 Ti. The engine was mounted transversely and paired with the 4-speed manual transaxle from the 1100. Production of the Bagheera ramped up quickly. By the end of 1973, just months after its introduction, the Romorantin-Lanthenay factory was producing 65 cars per day. Within 18 months of its release, more than 10,000 Bagheeras had found homes with eager buyers. The Bagheera's performance impressed automotive journalists of the time. In early 1974, the German magazine Auto, Motor und Sport put a 1,294cc Bagheera through its paces, comparing it to its closest market competitors. The car's light weight served it well in these tests. It recorded a top speed of 116 miles per hour, outpacing the Alfa Romeo GT 1300 Junior's 110 miles per hour, despite the Alfa claiming an extra 3 horsepower. The Matra Simca also beat the Italian car in acceleration, reaching 62 miles per hour in 12.2 seconds compared to the Alfa's 13.5 seconds. The Bagheera's striking design didn't go unnoticed in the automotive world. It won the prestigious 1973 Style Auto Award, beating out stiff competition that included the Lancia Stratos, Lancia Beta Coupe, and Ferrari Dino 308 GT4. As with any new model, the Bagheera evolved over its production run. In 1974, a special Courage model was launched, styled by fashion designer André Courage. This version featured an all-white exterior and interior, with the dash trimmed in imitation gold. It was distinguished by custom exterior badging and interior trim. The 1975 saw the introduction of the Bagheera S model. This sportier variant received a larger 1,442cc engine from the Simca 1308 GT. With two 2-barrel carburetors, this engine produced 90 horsepower. The S also boasted special exterior trim and badging to set it apart from the standard model. A major restyling came in 1976. Nearly all body panels were modified to some degree, with the most obvious changes being new wraparound bumpers, new rear quarter glass, and larger tail lamps. Inside, there was a new dashboard. This updated model was sometimes referred to as the Bagheera Type 2. The Courage version was discontinued in 1977, replaced by a new, fully optioned Bagheera X model. The following year, all models received a new dashboard and seats. In April 1978, a new Jubilee series was launched to commemorate Simca's second Car of the Year win for the Horizon. 1978 also saw a change in the car's branding. PSA had taken control of Simca the previous year following the demise of Chrysler Europe, and as a result, all Matra Simcas became Talbot Matras. The Bagheera's final years saw a few more changes. In 1979, the original 1,294cc engine was dropped entirely, with all models now using the 1,442cc engine, albeit with variations in carburation. New doors and handles from the Matra Rancho replaced the previously hidden door handles, necessitating changes to the rear quarter of the car. The S model was discontinued, leaving only the base model and the X in the lineup. Production of the Bagheera came to an end in April 1980, with a total of 47,802 units built over its 7-year run. It was succeeded by the Matra Bagheera, which built upon the innovations of its predecessor. While the Bagheera was innovative and stylish, it wasn't without its problems. In 1975, it won an award that no car manufacturer wants, the German ADAC's Silver Lemon, for the poorest quality car at the time. Complaints ranged from a leaky body that allowed rain to enter the cabin to various mechanical failures. One of the biggest issues that plagued the Bagheera was corrosion. While the polyester body panels didn't rust, the underlying steel chassis had almost no corrosion protection. This problem significantly impacted the car's longevity, with few Bagheeras surviving to the present day due to extensive chassis corrosion. Matra learned from this experience, fully galvanizing the chassis of the Bagheera's successor, the Matra Bagheera. Despite these issues, the Bagheera remains a fascinating chapter in automotive history. Its innovative design and unique features set it apart from its contemporaries and influenced future sports car designs. But the story of the Bagheera doesn't end with the production models. In March 1973, even as the standard Bagheera was preparing for its public debut, a team of Matra engineers led by Georges Pinardo was already working on something even more ambitious. Project M560, which aimed to create a more powerful version of the Bagheera. The centerpiece of this project was a unique U engine, created by combining two existing Simca straight-four engines. The blocks came from two different Simca applications and rotated in opposite directions, but shared the same 1,294 cc displacement. One block was from the 1100 Ti and was adapted to transverse mounting, while the other was from the Simca 1000 Rally 2, in which it had been mounted longitudinally. The two blocks were joined at an 82-degree angle using a common cast aluminum sump that also carried a common oil supply for the engine. At the non-drive end, another aluminum casting assured the alignment of the blocks, while at the drive end, a steel adapter fit the ends of both crankshafts. Power was transmitted from the left-hand crank to the right via a sprocket, and Morse chain connected to a shaft running down the middle of the sump. Each block retained its own crankshaft, distributor, and water pump. The clutch and bell housing of the engine from the Rally 2 engine provided the transaxle mounting, while a flywheel was only mounted to the 1100 Ti crankshaft. The resulting 2,588 cc 8-cylinder assembly was fitted with 4 Weber 36 DCNF carburetors and, with a 9.8:1 compression ratio, produced an impressive 169 horsepower at 6,200 revolutions per minute. This powerful new engine required significant modifications to the Bagheera's chassis and body. The car's overall length increased by 431.8 millimeters, and the wheelbase grew by 230 millimeters. The width also increased slightly to accommodate larger wheel arches needed for wider tires. The suspension was upgraded, with the rear now using lateral links, trailing arms, and coil springs. Ventilated disc brakes and 5 lug wheels were also added. Despite being announced in the autumn of 1973 and reportedly being production-ready by 1974, the Bagheera U8 never made it to showrooms. Chrysler Europe, facing financial difficulties and concerned about the developing fuel crises, was unwilling to approve the project for production. As a result, only 3 U8 prototypes were ever built. Today, a surviving prototype of the Bagheera U8 and its unique engine can be seen at the Matra Museum in Romorantin-Lanthenay, serving as a testament to what might have been, a French rival to Italian exotic sports cars of the era. And in the end, the story of the Matra Bagheera serves as a reminder that sometimes the most interesting chapters in automotive history are written not by the best-selling models or the most prestigious brands, but by those vehicles that dare to be different, that push boundaries, and that challenge our preconceptions of what a car can be. In that respect, the Bagheera was, and remains, truly one of a kind.